I've wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro for years now. I got the idea from my yoga instructor in Germany. She was fighting breast cancer and a divorce, but had the courage to hike all the way to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. After she told me about her trip, I vowed to myself that I would do the same. I have even made plans to check off the first adventure on my list this summer with my mother and two brothers. My siblings' mother and I start training sometime in May to take on the 19,341-foot behemoth of a mountain. The trek will be difficult, and a lot of people might not make it to the summit, but I have determination, and I believe I will make it. I want to experience the world from 20,000 feet. The most amazing part about my dedication to be nearly 20,000 feet high is that I am afraid of heights. I'm very excited to grow up, but I want to experience life before having to tackle the everyday responsibilities of adulthood. I want to be the adult with the cool, blood-pumping stories of reckless days and adrenaline-filled decisions. Being able to tell the story of dropping dangerously high out of a helicopter with a snowboard and a best friend would make me always cherish the memories I made in my youth. Heli snowboarding was an idea I had after watching the movie Art of Flight. Heli snowboarding with Jake is an added bonus. Heli snowboarding may be dangerous, expensive, and nerve-wracking, but what is life without adventure? What is living without being pushed to new heights? Just thinking and writing about the idea of heli snowboarding makes the urge to experience it unbearable. I will always remember the day I jumped out of a helicopter onto a mountain, and for that reason alone I will go. I have no idea when Jake and I will partake on our adventure, but I am certain we will. If I could define myself in 3 words, they would be daring, compassionate, and romantic. Marriage is not part of my 5-year plan, but it is part of my life plan. I want to be married in the future, and even have kids. I cannot be certain on who, when, or where I will be married, but I know there is a girl out there that is my soulmate. She may be flawed, but she will be perfect to me. Marriage will be a big commitment and an even bigger responsibility, but it will be wonderful. Being able to love someone who loves you is the greatest blessing life offers. Marriage is and will be one of the most exciting chapters in the story of my life. All I can do is wait with nervous hands and an open heart. An invention, an idea, a speech, anything that contributes to the world in a positive way is a wonderful thing to do. I have always wanted to go above and beyond and outside of the box to find a true passion in life. After days of brainstorming and creative thinking, I came up with how I would leave my mark. I hope to be remembered for many things, but hopefully one will be an invention. I am even in the process of completing this chapter of my bucket list. My partner and I have been working tirelessly day and night to launch our very first product. I am so proud of myself for not giving up on the plan and vowing to see it out to the end. Hopefully in the coming year I'll have my own product and my own little mark on history. I will always be striving to invent more and more, but even one invention will leave me content. Traveling has always been a passion of mine. I love seeing how others live and how I can implement different cultures into my life. I have already been to 24 countries, but I would love to visit half of the world. I would especially love to see most of Africa and the Middle East. I have been blessed to live in Germany, Italy, Hawaii, Costa Rica, and countless states in the United States, but my curiosity does not allow me the privilege of being content with just living in those places. I always want to see more. Visiting half the world will be wonderful, but how will I remember every trip? On top of visiting half the world, I want to collect a unique item or souvenir of every country I visited. By having a token to visualize, I will be able to remember every trip, short or long. I would love to complete this chapter of my bucket list before I'm 50 years old. After I complete this goal, I will not stop traveling. I have been in love with the water since I can remember. I was on swim team, I surf, I am a lifeguard, and I even teach swim lessons, but I have never been scuba diving. If my plan of attending the University of Hawaii works out, I will take a scuba diving class and get my certification so I can scuba dive for the first time in the crystal blue waters of Hawaii. Even if my plan falls through, I will take a class wherever I am and make it my goal to go scuba dive at least once a year. I've been fascinated with underwater life and the different dimensions that lay under our feet since I can remember. I have an unusual urging unlike any other to swim with a wild shark, and hopefully one day I will graduate college with a degree in marine biology and document my findings on wild sharks. Scuba diving is a goal I wish to accomplish in the coming years. Hopefully in 4 years' time, I will be 80 feet below. completely submerged in the vast, breathtaking ocean. Just like the unknown of the ocean, I have no idea what life will be out of high school, so what I'm really searching for in the deeps of the ocean is my future. My father was a highly decorated C-17 pilot for the United States Air Force and an amazing storyteller. He would tell my brothers and I about landing an airplane on a dirt road in Afghanistan at 3 o'clock in the morning while being shot at, or how he had to jump out of planes during his training at the Air Force Academy. After growing up seeing and hearing about how amazing jumping out of a moving airplane thousands of feet in the sky was, I needed to try it for myself. I have been making plans, and right when I turn 18, I am going to jump thousands of feet out of an airplane. I am particularly scared for this episode of my bucket list because I am extremely scared of heights. I know it will be an exhilarating experience, but after hearing first-hand stories of the fright people experience right before their seemingly never-ending freefall, I have had second thoughts. I have reminded myself countless times that the possibilities of any technological mistakes are minimal, but once the idea of failure is in your head, just like a virus in a computer, it is hard to get out. Once completing the most fearful challenge on my list, I will know that with the right attitude and a little push, anything is possible. I know I will be able to take the leap, not just in skydiving, but in life. Everyone has a feeling inside of them that yearns for riches and fame, but the chances of achieving them are not very likely. The lifestyle that a select few get to live is a wonderful blessing. I will probably not become a multimillionaire or gain recognizable fame, but who says I cannot take a small aspect of celebrity life and incorporate it into a week of my life? I want to be able to drive a car that costs more than $1 million. Not for forever, but for a few days. To go as fast as $1 million and having unstoppable horsepower in my hands is a life-altering experience that I want to be a part of. I'm afraid of two things with driving a beast of a machine that costs more than $1 million. The first is crashing and endangering my life and or the lives of others. The second is that after driving $1 million car, I know I won't be able to stop. Hopefully, I can finish this objective without hurting anyone or the car. The rush of dropping into a double overhead wave or surfing inside the barrel, the tunnel inside the wave that is created when the waves crest and breaks against the water, is unlike any other. Surfing is and will forever be a huge part of my life. I first experienced surfing in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. The water was brown, the waves were small, but the energy, the happiness blinded me of the negatives of the day and only brought forth the positives. I fell in love with surfing at Barbers Point, Oahu on 2005. I love the experiences you receive from surfing, but the memories are priceless. Surfing is not a sport, a hobby, or a job. It is a lifestyle that is welcoming to everyone, no exceptions. I have always wanted to surf the renowned spots across the globe, so I vowed to surf every continent instead. From Antarctica to Australia, no matter the conditions, the wave size, or the time of day, I will surf every continent. Just like the differences in waves, every memory is unique. That is why I want to experience as many different waves as possible. There are many breathtaking places in our world, such as the Great Wall of China or the Great Barrier Reef, but I believe the most beautiful will be the Northern Lights. An array of varying colors no man could make. The Northern Lights are a never-ending display of beauty engulfing the night sky. To see one of the most, or even the most beautiful thing in the world would be a wonder-filled experience unlike no other. One of the greatest gifts God gave us was the ability to see. I want to fulfill the duty I owe to my eyes by giving the gift of beauty. I do not know when, but I will go to Alaska or Norway or Finland or any place to see the world's greatest concoction of beauty and science. I know I will always remember the beauty, and I will cherish the memory of visiting the most beautiful display, untouched by man, for the duration of my life. I pray for the chance to see the Northern Lights, and will be forever grateful for the beauty of Earth.